What is the mark of a great footballer? Sometimes we look at stats like goals, assists, longevity, Ballon d'Ors, but the deciding factor always seems to be what trophies did that player win and how many trophies did they win. And in this video, I'm going to share my research into 7 of the greatest players in world football, what they won, but more importantly, what they didn't win, and see if that information changes the way we look at these players. Footballer number 1 is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Some really interesting stats on his career. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, unbelievable goal scorer, scored over 500 career goals. He played for Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, AC Milan, PSG, and Man United. He played from 1999 to 2023, almost a 25-year career. Surprisingly, his best Champions League finish was the semi-finals in 2009-10 with Barcelona. Interestingly, this is something that I never knew. He never actually won the Champions League. I thought he did. He had a couple of near misses though. In 2008-9, he left Inter Milan and Inter won the treble the next season with Jose Mourinho. Extremely unlucky in terms of timing. And in 2009-10, he joined Barcelona. They just won the treble the year before he arrived. So you would think he was extremely close to winning the Champions League, but he never ever win. Obviously, he is Swedish, and in terms of international trophies, he didn't win any international trophies at all. But Zlatan is a serial winner at domestic level in terms of league titles. He won 12 major titles across 4 different leagues. So he won in the Netherlands, he won the title in Italy, he won the title in Spain and France. Ajax, he won 2 titles. Inter Milan, he won 3 titles. Barcelona, he won 1 title. And PSG, he won 4 titles as well. He never won the Ballon d'Or. In the time that he was playing, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, they were just untouchable during that time. So would he have won the Ballon d'Or if those two weren't about? Maybe. He did finish in the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or awards though in 2013 and 2015. He might have had a chance if Messi and Ronaldo. So no Champions Leagues, no international trophies, but a bunch of league titles. Probably one of the most dominant forwards ever. He scored some incredible goals. He was extremely confident and just an enigma on and off the pitch. But not winning those international trophies in Champions League is surprising to me, but something that may change your mind on the way we look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The second player in the list is Buffon, renowned as the greatest goalkeeper of all time to many football fans. He played from 1995 to 2023, a very, very long career. He played most of his career at Juventus and he had spells at Parma and PSG. He was more or less a one-club man. And I think when you are a one-club man, you run the risk of limiting the amount of trophies you can win. But that could be the opposite as well. Like with Zlatan, you could play for too many clubs and never quite hit the highs in those timeframes. But Buffon, he never won the Champions League also. Didn't win the Champions League. He was runner-up in 2003, 2015 and 2017. So he lost 3 finals, 1 to AC Milan, 1 to Barcelona and 1 to Real Madrid. One of the big factors for Buffon though is that he did win the World Cup, which a lot of people think that is the deciding factor for the best players of all time. Your Messis, your Maradonas, your Ronaldos. He did win the World Cup in 2006 with Italy. He won 11 league titles, 10 in Serie A for Juventus, and he won 1 in PSG. Domestically, again, an extremely brilliant and prolific winner. He did come second in the Ballon d'Or as well in 2006, but he never won the Ballon d'Or. Goalkeeping legend, but again, surprising to me that he didn't win the Champions League. I thought he did. The third player on the list is Sergio Aguero, and another surprising career from Aguero. He was very injury prone. He played from 2003 to 2021. He played for Atletico Madrid, Man City and eventually Barcelona. He never won the Champions League. Again, another player, very surprised that he came runner-up with Man City in 2021. Man City obviously got to the final but got beat by Chelsea in that final, and he never won the Champions League. He was injured in that final as well. He didn't play against Chelsea in that 2021 final. City won the Champions League 2 years later after he left, so quite unlucky there. He played for them for so long as well, and they were knocking at the door for a long time. They spent a lot of money but he never won the Champions League. He actually won 2 international trophies, but not the World Cup. He won the Copa America in 2021 and an Olympic gold in 2008 with Argentina. Not really an important one. He won 5 Premier League titles and a La Liga title with Atletico Madrid, but never won one with Barcelona, interestingly. Never won a Ballon d'Or, but he did finish in the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or in 2015 and 2016. I think as summary for Aguero, very injury prone, but I think he's, on his day, one of the best goal scorers that's ever walked on a pitch. I mean, his goals per minute ratio is ridiculous. I think if he could have stayed fit his whole career, he absolutely would have won a Ballon d'Or and he absolutely would have won the Champions League, but unfortunately he didn't. But definitely some interesting stats on Aguero that make me think slightly different of his career. Another amazing player, we've got some surprises with this player as well, is Francesco Totti. His career was massive, huge longevity from 92 to 2017. He was a true one-club man. He played for Roma his entire career, and already you can look at that and go, that's going to limit his ability to win other trophies. Roma never won the Champions League whilst he was there, so he didn't win the Champions League, even though he's such a legendary sort of folklore player. Like, everyone remembers Totti. He refused to move to Real Madrid a couple of times, which probably was the reason he didn't win the Champions League, let's be honest, because even though there's a chance Roma could win it, very unlikely when you've got Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, you know, all of those teams that have won it in the past 15 years. Also won a World Cup, so that's why, again, it's part of his legend. He won a World Cup with Italy in 2006, same as Buffon, really. And he only won 1 league title, which is insane. He only won 1 league title in Serie A in 2000, 2001. He never won the Ballon d'Or, but he did finish in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or in 2001 and 2003. Pretty much just one club man, loyal player, legend at that club, but also a World Cup winner. But very surprising that he didn't win the Champions League, especially for me, because I thought Totti, such a European legend, he definitely would have. Player number 5, Patrick Vieira, obviously Arsenal legend. Huge longevity, once again, played for 15 years, 14, 15 years in total, long career. Played for Arsenal, Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and also Man City. I'm noticing from this list, Inter Milan and AC Milan actually share a lot of players in common. He never won the Champions League, Patrick Vieira, obviously because he was at Arsenal for so long, but you think he might have got close with the Milans, with Inter and AC, but he never did. The closest he came to winning the Champions League was he got to the semi-final with Inter Milan in 2008, 2009. He actually left Arsenal in 2005 and they reached the Champions League final in 2006, but Barcelona obviously beat them in that final. He also left Inter in January 2010 and they won that treble the same year. So if he'd have stayed at Inter Milan for 4 more months, he would have won the Champions League under Jose Mourinho at Inter Milan, which is extreme, probably the most unlucky we've seen so far. He did win a World Cup in 1998 and he also won the Euros for France in 2000 as well. So he won 7 league titles as well during his career. He won the Premier League 3 times with Arsenal, one of them being the Invincibles. He won 4 with Inter and Juventus combined, and he never won the Ballon d'Or as well, but he did finish in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or in 2001. Just a powerhouse all in total. I remember watching him play, Vieira. He was just so clean on the ball. He was strong, he was tall, he was athletic, and he was just a commander in the centre of the park for Arsenal during his time. Another Arsenal legend coming up next is Cesc Fabregas. He actually played for 20 years, from 2003 to 2023. Extreme longevity in his career. Played for Arsenal, Barcelona, Chelsea and Monaco. So 2 teams that have won multiple Champions League, but he never actually won the Champions League himself. You're probably as surprised as me. Never won the Champions League. Best Champions League finished was the semi-final in 2008-2009 with Arsenal. I thought he would have at least reached the final with Barca, but he didn't. He did have a near miss though. He left Barcelona in 2014 and Barcelona won the treble in 2015, including the Champions League. So he was very unlucky. But Cesc Fabregas, he's been at such high profile clubs at peak times as well. very surprised he never won the Champions League. But let's take a look at his international record. Again, how do we judge a great player? I judge Fabregas as an extremely high-level elite player and legend. He won the Euros with Spain twice in 2008 and 2012. And he won the World Cup with Spain in 2010 as well. So 3 huge international trophies, incredible career. He won 3 league titles. He won 2 Premier League titles and a La Liga with Barcelona. Once again, even more surprising that he didn't win the Champions League during that 2008 to 2012 span. How he never won the Champions League there is beyond me. And he never won the Ballon d'Or as well. Obviously, Messi and Ronaldo dominating during that time, but he did finish in the top 10 in 2006. Spain's golden era, part of Spain's golden era. So surprising that he didn't win the Champions League for me. I definitely think his international prowess is just one to be rivaled, because unbelievable winning. And he won 2 Euros back-to-back with a World Cup in between. Number 7, and this is the most interesting one for me. This player is one of my favourite players, probably my favourite player of all time, and it's Ronaldo Nazario. His career was full of injuries. He basically had no knees for the whole of his career, widely regarded as the greatest striker of all time. He played from 93 to 2011, but a lot of that time he was injured. He played for Barca, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Milan, and was part of the Galacticos at Real Madrid as well. He never got further than the Champions League quarter-final. How insane is that from Ronaldo Nazario? He never got to a final. He never won the Champions League. He got to this quarterfinals with Real Madrid in 2002/2003. The closest he came, other than that quarterfinal, was that he joined Real Madrid just after they won the Champions League in 2002. Remember when Zidane scored that volley against Leverkusen? Unbelievably unlucky not to win the Champions League, but a player of his stature, you would think, would definitely have got further than the quarterfinals in the Champions League. But maybe it was injuries, maybe it was just, again, he jumped around too much, he just didn't quite hit that team. But again, does a great player make you win the Champions League? I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. His international trophies, he won 2 World Cups, one in 94 and one in 2002. He was the greatest player on the planet in 2002. He won the Golden Boot. He won 2 Ballon d'Ors. He won the Copa America twice as well. He won 4 international trophies for Brazil. He won 2 La Liga titles. He won an Eredivisie when he played for PSV Eindhoven, and he won 1 Brazilian championship. So not that many league titles for someone, again, who's so great. I thought he would have won many more league titles than that. Considering he played for Inter Milan, Barca and Real Madrid as well. The surprising stat that isn't so surprising is he won 2 Ballon d'Ors. He won it in 1997 and he won it in 2002. Widely recognised as one of the greatest of all time because of that international pedigree, and also his Ballon d'Ors as well, and the fact that he was injured for most of his career. To this day, the greatest striker, the greatest natural goal scorer you'll ever see. He had pace, power, frightening player to play against on his day. As an artist, I have drawn many of these players. If you want to download any of my artwork for free as a phone wallpaper, just hit the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this video as well. Go and check it out, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. Have a boss day.